This is the Power Platform Daily Brief from CRM Audio for Wednesday, March 27, 2019. What you need to know about the Power Platform today in 10 minutes or less. I'm Joel Lindstrom. And the first story we have today is Microsoft released the Microsoft Power Apps CLI. The Microsoft Power Apps CLI is a simple single-stop developer command line interface which today offers you everything required to create a custom control and will eventually be able to perform all your developer tasks via a simple and efficient set of commands. The Power Apps CLI is the first step toward a comprehensive ALM story where enterprise developers and ISVs can create, build, debug, and publish their extensions and customizations quickly and efficiently. So what does that mean? This is the tooling to support the Power Apps Control Framework, formerly known as the Custom Control Framework, that seems like it's been a preview feature for a long time, and now they've finally released tooling. Or did they? When I was recording this morning, I noticed it now says the owner has unlisted this package. This could mean the package is deprecated or shouldn't be used anymore. So I'm not recommending everybody go use it. It's interesting it was released and now apparently it's unlisted. So what that means, I don't know, but I'm sure we'll find out soon. Second thing is you have about 2 weeks to submit your topics for the CRMUG User Summit, the Dynamics 365 User Summit in Orlando, Florida, October 15th through 18th. You can submit your topics up until the 12th of April. And if you're thinking about it, I would recommend that you do, because it's a great experience. You might be kind of nervous if you've never spoken at a conference before, but once you do it, it kind of gets in your blood, and then you'll be doing it all the time. Maybe you'll be an MVP before long. So if you're having trouble thinking of things to talk about, here's some tips on what you might want to consider. Number one is, don't do the same old tired stuff. I would look and see last year's summit, look at the agenda, and see what were the topics that we have that a lot of people were talking about. And there's generally several topics that get a lot of people wanting to talk about them, and then there's some that don't. If you submit things that are not what everybody else wants to talk about, then you're more likely to be selected as long as it's a good topic. Second thing, tie the Power Platform into it. That's my rule for presentations now. I'm not presenting about anything that just is Dynamics. It's always going to involve the Power Platform. Whatever topic you're talking about, if it's customer service, if it's sales, if it's mobile, tie the Power Platform into it. Third, answer the question, why? Don't just say, here's this fun stuff, here's this great new thing you can do. Just talk about why it matters. And that makes your sessions much more meaningful than just saying, here's what you can do. And bonus, if you bring an actual customer with you to present, that increases your chances of presenting quite a bit. I did that last year. I had Nikki Walsh from Norwest Equity Partners speak with me about maintaining your contact data quality, and it was a great session, and it makes your life easier too because you don't have to present the whole thing. So that's my tips. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to submit about because I don't want everybody submitting about the same topics I am. But I encourage you to do that and reach out to me if you want any suggestions. If you're debating, is this a good topic or not? I'm glad to let you know what I think. I'm not saying I'll be right, but I'll be glad to let you know what I think. Next, Microsoft Dynamics 365 Update 2.4 for on-premises. This is a new update for on-premises, specifically version 8.x. You might say, who cares about on-premises, or especially who cares about 8.x now that version 9? And I'll tell you, probably more than half of the existing installs of Dynamics CRM are still on-premises. And so this, I'm sure there's people listening to the podcast who are still on 8.2 on-premise. Maybe they aren't ready to go to V9 or go to the cloud yet, but they're having some issues, and this addresses them. There's a lot of things in here about Outlook Sync and about activities. So things like Update 72 for Google Chrome causes the name to append characters to the file name, and it prevents the file from being opened. Contacts sync from CRM to Outlook using server-side synchronization display an email address in place of the first and last name. I think I actually saw that one time. The to field was blank in the window that appeared when the email article link was selected, an article associated with the form. Saw that before. Dynamics add-in could not render web pages. Outlook with CRM could not be configured. A lot of different things here. Emails were automatically promoted when the email queue was configured to promote all emails. So a lot of things, core functionality that people use every day. So if you do have 8.2 and they're not ready to upgrade yet, go get that update. I'll put a link in the show notes. Final story. Let's look at some of the newest connectors that have been added for the Power Platform. I checked, and if you go to flow.microsoft.com or powerapps.microsoft.com, or actually it's powerapps.com. You have to put the Microsoft in for Power Apps. You can see the connectors, and one of the categories is recently added connectors. And so let's look at some of the new ones. One is Mobile EWS, and Mobile EWS is a way to send SMS messages globally. I haven't used it yet, but it sounds interesting. I know that when I've looked into sending SMS messages, you have to really look at what regions are supported, because not every provider can send a text message to Japan, for example. Second thing is Dynamics 365 Customer Insights. There's a preview connector for that. And what Customer Insights is a cloud-based service that works with your customer data to give you insights and actions and segments and things like that. So recommend you get that if you're looking at Customer Insights. Document Merge. This is a official Microsoft connector that works with SharePoint documents to do mail merge. Fast and clean without code via Flow. And so this is an interesting topic, because on a somewhat regular basis I have people ask me, what's the replacement for mail merge? And Word document templates are great, but you can't generate multiple documents with them. So this may be an option. Now, it doesn't work directly with Dynamics, but the fact that there's a connector for Common Data Service and there's a connector for SharePoint, I can see scenarios where if you wanted to merge a lot of documents, you could move the data from Dynamics to a SharePoint list and then use the document merge to create merged predefined Word documents, but also Excel and PowerPoint documents. And that's interesting to me, because I'm thinking of scenarios where you want to have a library of say sales presentations, and you want to be able to customize them and personalize them. This could potentially be a way to not just merge Word documents, but also Excel and PowerPoint. Then we got two connectors for blockchain, Chainpoint and ZuaDB. And Chainpoint, you can connect your data and documents to the Bitcoin blockchain, so anyone can verify their integrity and timestamp. And then the other one, ZuaDB, and I'm just reading the pronunciation. I don't know if I'm saying the pronunciation right. It's XOOADB. I'm assuming that's ZuaDB. And Zua is a platform as a service dedicated to making private blockchain easy. So if you're using blockchain with Flow, and especially if you have a use case for using it with customer engagement, I would love to hear from you. Maybe even interview you on a podcast, because I get how blockchain is important, especially for certain types of transactional data. But again, I haven't yet seen a real world in the wild scenario where people use it for Dynamics 365 or the common customer engagement scenarios. So if you have one of those, or can think of some real world scenarios where you would do that, please, I would love somebody to explain this whole thing to me. So that's the daily update for Wednesday. Now you're up to date.